Here we can head away, then. Okay. Morning. Welcome to Let's Get Growing. Sorry, we had a little false start there. Thought we could get in the show before it rained. Guess what? We didn't. So we've jumped into the greenhouse. We're going to talk about something else today that a little bit of a follow-up, actually, from a couple of things we did uh, in last season. Last spring, we started a fuchsia tree, a fuchsia standard. And we talked about how to initially make that fuchsia standard. Well, this is the fuchsia standard that we made last year. So this fuchsia standard, I don't know if you can get most of it in there, Laura. This fuchsia standard is now maybe a year and 3 months old. So it's amazing what you can do in just a year with something like this. So the point we're at now with our fuchsia tree, we gave the head a good pinch back, so you can see the head is nice and dense. We don't want it to get too big yet because the stem can't handle the weight of it just yet. Right now you see we have 2 stakes in it, and we're tied to the stakes. As the plant gets older, the trunk is going to get much thicker, and it will be able to support itself. So really all we have to do now through this season, A, enjoy it because it's looking really, really good. Watch for any long shoots that might come out that we might need to pinch off. And also we need to keep the stem clean of shoots. So I'm going to lift it up and show you what I mean. So you can see along the stem, we're getting little sprouts here. And these are going to happen. All you need to do is make sure that you're taking these little sprouts off when you see them. And it's just a matter, when they're small, of just picking them off. All the way to the top. Just keep them clean. Keep them cleaned off. And that lets the energy get up here to the head. If we started letting sprouts go from here, they would grow exceptionally fast, possibly at the expense of the head. Very similar if you've planted a maple tree or anything in your garden. You want to keep the lower trunks free of shoots. You want to make sure there's no shoots coming from the base because all of those can weaken the upper growth. So we've got slow release fertilizer in here. It's in a clay pot because it will get top heavy. But there's our progress with that, and it's doing really, really well. I'm really excited about how well we're doing. So we'll come back to that again in a few months and have a look at it. The other thing we talked about was the red jungle banana, Ensete ventricosum morellii. It's a beautiful banana, has this gorgeous big paddle-like leaves. If we were really wanting to grow this one out big, we'd have it in the ground or in a bigger pot, and these leaves can get up to 6 feet long through the season. This one I've just left in a small pot, so it's staying dwarf, but I just didn't have a place for it this year, so we'll just hang on to it. But what we did last fall, when we dug this and its partner out of a container, is we decided to propagate one of them. Now, if you're growing bananas of any type, Musa, or the Musa type of banana, which grows more tall trunks, they send out short rhizomes around the base and grow young plants, much like a canna lily. The Ensetes do not do that. The jungle bananas don't do that. They form a stump and then long leaves that come out of that stump. Once they eventually flower, which would probably never happen in our climate, then the plant dies. But we can trick that. We wanted to increase our Encetes. We want to make a nice display of them. Maybe next year we'll do several containers or plant a grove of them in a part of the garden. So what we decided to do was propagate them. And when you propagate things like this that don't like to make pups, you can force them to make pups. It's much the same as if you were trying to increase snowdrop bulbs or something like that. There is a way to do it. So here's the one that we did. And as you can see, we took a plant exactly the same size as the last one. But what we did is we went into the crown of the plant. These Encetes have a corm there. They have a round disc-like stump. We took an old kitchen knife, we cut that into 4 pieces, and then just put it back in the pot and treated it as normal. Well, you can see what we've got now is not even a year later. We're probably about, 8 months later, I guess? And we have got a mass of young plants here. And that was from cutting the stump. You could do this with anything. You could do this with a regular banana. You could do it with canna lilies, anything tuberous or that has a rhizome. You can cut into that, and that forces the other rhizome pieces to sprout new shoots. It's much like pruning a tree branch. You prune a tree branch, that branch makes more branches. It's the same idea, but doing it with the roots. So you can see that we have got a mass of baby shoots here. If I just go down a little bit, I can see that they have all started to root here. Now, I don't want to take them apart today, but we still have a good, strong growth from the initial, from one of the quarters, grew a good, strong plant. It actually has some pups on it as well. But we got our good, strong plant, and we've got probably, there's going to be at least 20 babies there. So it's not a real quick job, but if you want to increase things like this, it's a really easy and quite painless way to do it. And you can do this with your allocages, colocages, any of those kind of things that make a bulb or a tuber.
Can you do this now, the porch pup?
Yeah, absolutely. We could take our plant here. I'm going to leave this one together. I don't want to separate the pups yet. I'm going to let them get a bit bigger. But what we would do, and we'll do this one because I got lots of Encetes around. I'll take an old kitchen knife. We'll get rid of some of these old leaf pieces here. And I'm just going to go right through the middle of the crown because down here, there is like a puck-like disc of rhizome. So I'm going to stab right through. And then I'm just going to very easily cut down into the crown. And that's as far as I need to go because I've gone through it. And there is now that wound there. See, very easy. Now I'm going to come around 90 degrees. And we're going to go right through it again. There we go. That's all you need to do. Then we're going to drop this back in its pot in a few months. Maybe quicker than the other one because we did it in the fall and then we had to do it through the winter. This one will probably grow a lot faster because we're doing it in the heat of summer. So we'll probably have a nice collection of little pups there. And now we'll have so many jungle bananas, we won't know what to do with them there. So there's our little follow-up for today. Do you have any questions in the show today, Laura?
Yes. Betty would like to though, is there anything special she needs to do with planting her new double bloom lemon seedling that's about 2 feet tall?
You know what? If you've got any plant growing in a pot, you can plant it at any time of the growing season. The only thing you need to remember is you need to be around to look after it. So, if you were going to, go away for 2 weeks, and you didn't have a reliable waterer, I might wait about planting anything new at this time of the year because we haven't had a lot of rain. Thankfully, we're getting some this morning. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. But yeah, if you're there to look after it, you can just go ahead and plant it. All the basic things go. In the summer, because we have been dry, even a good rain like this may not soak in really well. So make sure that after you dig the hole, you fill it with water, let water soak in so the soil around the planting is moist, and that will help with the plant getting established quicker.
Sophie asks, is there any point in starting lettuce seeds at this time of year for lettuce to get set with the baby?
You know what? You can do lettuce. You can sow lettuce all season long. If you're going to sow it and grow it in the heat of the summer, put them in a shady spot. Grow them in the shade where they're not as hot. Look for varieties that tolerate heat better. There are some lettuce varieties out there that will tolerate warm weather better. So look for those. But yeah, you can keep sowing it. Every couple of weeks, sow some fresh lettuce seed. You're not going to get maybe big heads, but you're going to get it as a cut and come again sort of green crop. So you're not going to grow, full-size lettuces. You're going to grow sort of baby leaves and harvest those.
We would also like to know, current Sunday is planting in the garden. Should we do that now in the garden?
If you want to do this in the garden, what we just did, absolutely. There's no problem with that. You're just going to get babies. That's all. So if you want to have your one banana and you don't want to buy more, or you want to increase them, if they're planted in the ground, go ahead and do it. Yeah, absolutely.
And we still want to know, if the elephant plant leaks, is it too much water?
If an elephant plant leaks.
There must be dripping water?
Oh, dripping water? No, not really. That's called vegetation. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's getting too much water. There's a reason for it. I can't remember, but it's called vegetation. We see it with bananas and things like that, especially in the wintertime when they're in the house. They'll do that, but I wouldn't be worried about it. If it's a regular elephant ears like a colocasia, you cannot give them too much water. They will actually grow in water, in swamps and things. So you really can't go wrong with them. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. I hope you can hear us. When you're in the greenhouse and it pours rain, it gets really, really loud. Anyway, thanks for watching. Pick it up on YouTube later. If you didn't see it or want to see it again, it'll be on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe us there on YouTube. Like us here on Facebook. And we'll see you next time on Let's Get Growing.